Top 10 things that could only happen, guess where? In America. My friends, I really wonder what those things are. But before we go into that, let me ask you for one thing. If you can leave a like, thank you so much. Is the best way to show support. Now, if you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. Have that in consideration. Link for the original video in my description and split.
Where do you want to start? I guess at the beginning somewhere?
Oh, Tiger King.
The crazy beginning.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things that could only happen in America.
Is that cathedral? Darth Vader?
That is Darth Vader himself.
For this list, we'll be looking at icons, customs, and events that seem to be unique to the United States, or at least would astound people living anywhere else. Have you experienced or heard of anything that you don't think would happen outside the USA? It's a wide-ranging topic. Let us know in the comments.
Okay, I think America is such an amazing country, but I also agree it's a bit chaotic from time to time. You guys really try crazy stuff. Sometimes the laws are are so different from state to state, right? That crazy things can happen, even for you probably, right? So let's see it.
Number 10, a stock trading hamster. In June of 2021, a hamster named Mr. Gox became something of an internet sensation. Using high-tech versions of a traditional hamster wheel in tunnels, he would indicate which cryptocurrency stock his owner should choose and whether they should buy or sell.
And, of course, Mr. Gox has his own Twitter account as well.
Most people in wealthy countries follow the stock market to some extent, but Americans are particularly obsessed with it, though it has little connection to the country's overall economic well-being. Also, stock trading is almost impossible to do with any assurance, as evidenced by the fact that during his 6 months of trading, Mr. Gox significantly outperformed the accepted human experts.
Whoa, that's crazy. So the hamster did better than the professionals. Man, that makes you question if, investing is a bit of a gambling. You know what I mean? Because, come on, that's insane.
Number 9, a cathedral with Darth Vader's head.
Oh my god.
Cathedrals, temples, and other ornate houses of worship are found worldwide. However, the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. is unique not for its size or complexity, but because it features a sculpture of Darth Vader's head on one tower.
You've got the face, the helmet, and he's got little tiny fists that are sort of pulled in close.
How did a Star Wars villain end up as a cathedral grotesque? Well, in the 1980s, the National Cathedral was undergoing renovations, and they sponsored a contest for kids to design new sculptures for the building. Darth Vader's head was a runner-up and made the cut. This does, of course, beg some larger questions as to what
So this is really back in the day with the original movies. That's crazy.
the cathedral was looking for in its designs. Anyway, we feel pretty confident that no other country has or would want a religious building with a Star Wars character on it.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Number 8, a supreme basketball court. Basketball is one of the most popular
A supreme basketball court. What the hell this means? Maybe some type of, government that rules basketball. What? I don't get this one.
sports in the United States. How popular? Well, incredible as it may seem, there's a basketball court directly above the Supreme Court of the United States. It's not easy to play a game there, though, since noise from the court is audible in the chamber below. It cannot be used when the Supreme Court is in session. Furthermore, because of security,
Oh no, oh my god, my friends, the title is Top 10 Things That Could Only Happen in America, and one of the things is there is a basketball court here. Okay, the title makes sense.
few people can even get near the room except the justices themselves, bailiffs, various clerks, and other employees of the Supreme Court. So if you want to play basketball without possibly angering the most powerful judges in the country, we'd suggest visiting a local community park instead. Number 7, Santa Claus running into power lines.
Santa Claus got into a slight accident, but don't worry, he's all right.
Although Santa Claus was invented in Europe, he has become a huge cultural icon in the United States.
What was that you said?
Children across the country believe that he will bring them presents if they behave well during the year. Hopefully none of their dreams were crushed in December of 2020 when a man in Northern California dressed as Santa Claus flew his motor-powered parachute into a maze of power lines and got stuck.
As people watched below, a pre-Christmas
Wait, but he could have died very easily, right?
rescue effort. Firefighters arriving to save Santa.
We thought it was like an actual airplane at first, so
Saving
we had
Christmas.
to come out and see it.
Apparently he planned to distribute candy canes to local children. Instead, he had to be rescued by the fire department. While power was
Damn, that's crazy. Oh, but to be fair, if he actually was doing this for children, he's actually respect, you know what I mean? But come on, just pick a car or something.
Turned off in the surrounding area. Fortunately, no one was injured, including the rather overconfident would-be Santa.
Firefighters say about 200 people in the area also lost power following the crash. It took crews about an hour to save Santa, and he walked away unhurt.
Number 6, a palace of corn. The
Palace
Midwestern
of
United
corn.
States has long been famous for agriculture. And nowhere is that quality more obvious than at the Corn Palace of Mitchell, South Dakota. The place is over 100 years old, and though its foundations haven't changed much, the surfaces both inside and out are covered with murals made of, you guessed it, corn.
300. What? That's crazy again. Okay, man, corn is a big industry in America. You know, you even have a palace.
50,000 ears of corn sawed in half and nailed into 13 exterior murals designed by a local artist, redecorated each year in a theme chosen by the Corn Palace Committee.
Every year,
but
the
this is
artist in
cool.
residence creates new, complex scenes out of different colored corn kernels, which are put on display for the wonder and astonishment of tourists. There's even a corn cam feature on the Palace website where you can get a live feed of the front of the building. Let's just say South Dakota is not famous for its entertainment. Number 5.
Wait, but he said South Dakota, right? But South Dakota is North or is Midwest? I always get a bit. I thought it was North.
Time tipping paid off. Many visitors to the United States are disconcerted to learn that instead of paying restaurant servers a living wage, the business is set up so that they mainly survive on tips from their customers. In 19...
Okay, this one I think most of... see, the other ones end up being crazy. This one I feel like we all know this, right?
1984, instead of a tip, a police officer in New York offered his waitress half of whatever he might win on his lottery ticket, which is generally considered a pretty lousy thing to do. However, in this case, the waitress got her tip after all when the policeman won $6 million. True to his word, he split the money with her, and both were set up for life.
I'll split my ticket with you.
I picked 3 numbers and he picked 3.
And we hit.
Okay,
3 million
that's
for
awesome.
her, 3 for me.
The story even provided inspiration for a rather over-dramatized 1994 movie called It Could Happen to You.
Lottery ticket?
With my luck? Be serious. No. Go, get the cat out of the tree or whatever it is that you do.
Number 4, going into debt for
Damn, I'm gonna tell that story to a lot of people. That's actually amazing.
the dead.
Everyone's
Go into debt for the dead. What?
started thinking of healthcare as a business where the metrics were profit, return on investment, efficiency, and those aren't the metrics of health, but that's how we judge hospitals today.
The United States is probably the only place in the world where getting sick or hurt can bankrupt you, and medical insurance companies have the power to ruin your life.
Can't get a credit card. I can't buy a house. I don't see me.
Because of the debt with the medical system, that's why that's not possible for him.
Ever being out of debt.
Conditions have been especially bleak during the COVID-19 pandemic, leaving many families deep in medical debt, even for care given to someone who died.
GoFundMe says a little more than 3% of pandemic-related fundraisers addressed medical needs between March and August.
Unaffordable medical bills have long been a problem.
Rebecca Gale, a retired factory worker in her 60s, lost her husband to COVID in 2020. After his death, she received a huge stack of medical bills, and while insurance covered most of them, apparently Gale had only minimal coverage for the air ambulance needed to take her spouse from one hospital to another. The result? A $40,000 bill that she can't afford to add to her grief. Number 3, law.
40,000, but just that? No, that cannot be true. But it's not just the ambulance; it's more than that.
Was protecting Bigfoot.
And you'll hear the stories.
And then he said it had a weird smell.
Bigfoot,
and he
an icon.
So Bigfoot is in Washington and Oregon, right? A lot of people believe this is a true thing. I watched the video the other day, and I don't know, millions of people say that they saw it.
Towards it.
A mystery.
What do you think?
A mascot.
Well, I'm definitely open to Bigfoot. What's the world without a little wonder, right?
The United States has some bizarre laws still on the books. Primarily, they're antiquated rules that no one cares about anymore or reactions to one-time odd events that no one remembers.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
However, these excuses don't apply to the laws in Washington state declaring one section of forest a Sasquatch refuge and making it a felony to harm any such creature. Legends about huge hairy hominids exist around the world, but in the U.S., they've taken a particularly strong hold, perhaps due to stories passed down by Native American tribes.
So, my friends, but Washington have a lot of bears, right? I believe brown bears, also brown and black bears, probably both, right? Maybe this is some type of bear that is really big, you know. Well, all bears tend to be very big, the brown ones, right? But I don't know. I feel like the way they describe seems something that could be that.
Tribes. There's no compelling evidence for the existence of these creatures, however. Some people might hesitate to make laws about an animal of doubtful authenticity, but not in the U.S.
So what exactly did he tell you he saw?
He just said it was a very tall, hairy creature with the red glaring eyes were something that was very prominent in his description.
Number 2, an inflatable rat with free speech rights.
We went out, we really did this, we went out and we bought one of those New York City strike rat balloons. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what the hell is this?
You can buy those! Anyone can buy those!
Okay, there's a lot to unpack in that title. Who is the giant rat and why does he require free speech rights?
People that's in the public, they stop and they want to know what's going on. So it's a great tool to actually bring folks aware of what's going on. And when they ask a question, that's when we utilize that moment to educate them on the purpose of the rat and why we're here.
Well, the rat's name is Scabby, and he's a symbol for workers' unions. If work reaches the union that workers are being treated unfairly somewhere, Scabby may pay the company a visit. As you can imagine, having a giant, evil-looking inflatable rat by the front door of your business is not particularly desirable.
It is as a... It's basically a symbol, you know what I mean, that represents people trying to unite against, you know, the maybe someone that is treating the employers very, very bad.
Effective.
It got my attention.
As it is evocative.
Scammy, something fishy, something's not right going on.
Some employers suggested that Scabby should not be allowed near their buildings because he scared away customers. However, the court ruled that the union rat could go wherever he wanted, under the rights protected in the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment. Before we can...
To be fair, I think that's cool, you know, because if someone is doing shady stuff, bring the rat.
Continue. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Thank you.
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, the Tiger King. In most countries and
so here I have to be honest, around COVID time, I ended up watching this TV show and I thought it was pretty amazing. I ended up loving this so much. The guy is still in prison, right? I remember seeing news that the guy had cancer or something, but I don't know if they end up being fake or not. But forgetting about that, the show I thought was fantastic.
In most U.S. states, it's illegal to privately own large predatory wild animals. Unfortunately, not every state has bothered to create those laws, which is how Oklahoma ended up with
Oklahoma, okay.
You may have heard of this fellow, also known as Joe Exotic, who was recently featured in a true crime documentary on Netflix.
I'm gonna try and get some good shots, so make sure y'all get me some promo pictures in there. No, I want you up front with a still camera.
The king kept and bred a large number.
To be fair, when you watch the show, you kind of like him. Even though he did bad stuff, but you actually like him. Anyone relate with this? Because I assume a lot of you guys also saw this show. This show got crazy popular, in my perspective, because it ended up coming out in the perfect time. Everyone was in the lockdowns all around the world are going crazy, and this show was a crazy success.
Number of tigers on his property, illegally sold tiger cubs, and killed adult tigers outright, which got him cited several times by the Department of Agriculture. What finally put Exotic in prison wasn't his treatment of tigers, though. It was hiring someone to kill a woman who criticized his behavior.
They discussed in detail, follow her into a parking lot, cap her, and drive off.
They had the talk, and then they negotiated a price, and that was the wrap.
Tigers and...
I forgot the amount of the name of that lady, but the amount of people that dislike her. And to be fair, her story was a bit, let's be real, a bit weird.
Hitman and horror, oh my.
I truly believe that Joe started the zoo for good purposes, good reasons.
The state needs to pass laws that this breeding has got to stop.
But as the money rose, I think his care for the animals declined.
Okay. Well, friends, thank you so much for watching Top 10 Countries Where Americans Are Not Welcome. I'm going to tell you one thing. You are welcome in Portugal. but the others, I don't know. Well, friends, thank you so much for watching this with me. Really means a lot. You guys end up staying until the end. Tell me in the comments if you knew about the things you saw here, because for me, most of them end up being a crazy surprise. The corn thing, the basketball court, I mean, you name it, right? It's kind of crazy, the video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Really means a lot. You guys end up staying until the end. See you guys in the next one. Bye, my friends.